Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky has thanked Donald Trump for his continued efforts to bring about peace in Ukraine after the two shared a phone conversation this morning. It was their first direct contact since a heated exchange in the Oval Office last month. They discussed plans for a 30-day ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Zelensky also asking Trump for more air defence systems. The White House offered their view on the call last hour.
We have never been this close to peace, and it's only because of President Trump that we are here. I think a couple of years ago, as you all reported on the war, it was incomprehensible to have a partial ceasefire in this conflict. And today, that is true because of the leadership of this president.
So you said they agreed to closely share information between their defense staffs. Does that mean all intelligence sharing will continue? So the White House is rejecting Russia's request to pause?
Intelligence sharing in terms of defense for Ukraine will continue to be shared.
President Zelensky also commented on the phone call. Writing on X, I had a positive, very substantive and frank conversation with the President of the United States. I thanked him for a good and productive start to the work of the Ukrainian and American teams in Jeddah on March 11. This meeting of the teams significantly helped in moving toward ending the war. We agreed that Ukraine and the US should continue working together to achieve a real end to the war and lasting peace, is what he wrote. We believe that together with America, with President Trump and under American leadership, lasting peace can be achieved this year. David Blevins has more now from Washington, D.C.
What a contrast to that jaw-dropping exchange in the Oval Office less than 3 weeks ago, Mark. The President described it as a very good call. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, described it as a fantastic call. A complete change of tone from President Zelensky, it would appear, thanking President Trump particularly for supplying javelins, something he criticised Zelensky over in that Oval Office clash, and also thanking the President for his effort to secure an end to the war. He also held out the prospect that the partial ceasefire he signed up to could be the first step towards ending the war altogether, and the prospect of American investment in Ukrainian power plants. Why would he go there? Well, perhaps that he views that as more of a security guarantee than the minerals deal that we've been talking about so much. While the US has now clearly committed to continuing to share intelligence with Ukraine, I think the defining issue is around Zelensky requesting additional air defence support, because the President appears to be saying that he will see what's available in Europe. What's not clear to us, is he talking about from a US military presence based in Europe, or is he talking about from European countries? But why would you fudge that? Perhaps it is indicative of the very sensitive stage we're now at in these negotiations, where Donald Trump is trying to keep both Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky on board ahead of the negotiations in Saudi Arabia.